We'll go on to number 15, proposed general plan amendment to transportation element policy affecting a portion of Bridge Street and adoption of a supplemental environmental impact report. Welcome back, Ben.
Okay, so.
Through the mayor, excuse me, Ben.
Yes.
Through the mayor, I'd like to let the public know that I attended that planning commission meeting for the presentation of this that we're talking about tonight. For the traffic policy. I want to let the public know that I attended the planning commission meeting.
Congratulations.
I'm supposed to let the public know.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay, so bear with me on this one. There's some subject matter that I'm still wrapping my head around on to explain clearly, and so I appreciate in advance the patience to get through this. And so as Councilmember Cardoza referenced, this came to the Planning Commission at their January 8th meeting to discuss. And what this item is before you is to proactively account for the city's traffic level of service on Bridge Street to avoid costly improvements to the community and the development community in the future. And so what we're looking at specifically is a general plan amendment, which is a proposal amending the general plan policy number 5.2I12 of the Yuba City General Plan transportation element to add the segment of Bridge Street between North Pelora and 2nd Street to the list of streets where exceptions to the minimum level of service D, are allowed, and putting that as an exception to allow level of service F. Additionally, the policy amendment would allow level of service F on this segment. So that's specifically the item that we're looking at tonight is regarding the general plan amendment and the supplemental EIR to analyze that, to implement it. And so to give a little background on level of service definitions, in 2004, the current general plan was adopted, establishing a level of service policy for traffic, setting the minimum level of service as D for city roadways, except for state highways and bridges that would cross the Feather River. And so currently that area in green, there's exemptions in the general plan policy that basically say we want to keep all roads. Development needs to consider that whatever that development is, it's not going to bring our roadways to a level of service less than D, except for the bridges that cross the Feather River and the state highways, and it does not consider residential roadways. So what is level of service? Level of service D, from our traffic engineer, Ken Anderson, he had a rule of thumb where basically D was where you anticipate you're going to stop for a traffic signal. In level of service F, basically it's where you anticipate stopping twice for a traffic signal. It's really, there's a firm definition in the highway capacity manual that talks about going from 35 to 55 seconds at that intersection delay to greater than 80 seconds for F. But what that rule of thumb is really, it's, hey, when you're driving down this road, the likelihood is that you're going to get stopped twice at one intersection. And so the specific area that we're asking for this exemption, it's specifically for Bridge Street, which is, as the council knows, one of our arterials that is connected to the Feather River Bridge and one of the main connections besides Highway 20 going over into east of Marysville and connecting to Highway 70. And so really the reason that we're going forward with this is that due to our traffic model, as the city expands and with only 2 bridges, the city of Yuba City, when it expands, that level of service is going to go to F, regardless if we have this policy implemented or not. But if you don't have this policy modified, that means any project that comes in would have a significant impact that would then have to have basically an EIR or a higher level of CEQA environmental analysis provided that would basically have have to have overriding conditions that specifically allow that project to move forward for the benefit of the city. And so definitely the city attorney could add on to that CEQA analysis, or Diana Langley with the Public Works Department are very familiar with our roadways and traffic impacts. And so at the heart of it is that we only have 2 bridges that go over. And so sooner or later, Bridge Street's going to be a level of service F as we grow out. Right now, to today, will it be level service F? No. And with the future improvements, with the bridge going to 4 lanes and with the planned improvements from Gray Avenue to Clark going to 4 lanes, that will improve the area and keep that at a level of service B or C for quite a while, is what our traffic engineer is telling us. But when the city grows out to that, maximizes that sphere of influence, the 20-year, 50-year horizon, 100-year horizon, whatever it takes, we will reach that level of service without having a 3rd bridge or doing some sort of extensive widening, multi-lanes for both Yuba City and Marysville. And so what we're trying to do is modify that policy so it doesn't basically put that harsh requirement on development going forward. And so with this general plan amendment, in order to amend it, we need to adopt the supplemental EIR, and staff proposes council approve the public benefit findings that adjust the level of service policy 5.2 I-12 with the findings of clear public benefit that were consistent with the general plan goals that what we're doing increases economic development potential, creation of jobs for Yuba City residents, opportunities for this segment of Bridge Street for commercial office and related uses, implementation of city vision for development of the greater downtown established by the Central City Core Pacific Plan, and further recognizes any anticipated traffic conditions, level service F along Bridge Street through the downtown area. So the Planning Commission at that January 8th meeting recommended for approval the environmental assessment and the GPA. And with that, I'm recommending items A and B of the staff report, and I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Well, thank you, Ben. Any public comment on the item? All right. Back to council. You want to make a motion?
Okay, I'll move to adopt A and B recommendations by the staff member, Ben Moody, instead of reading it through.
I second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? There you go. Thanks, Ben.
Thank you.